ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Wake him up, Coach. Wake him up.
Stay hot tub. Stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub. Rubber dub and hot tub. Rubber dub and me. Should I get the hot tub?
Yeah.
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah.
Should I get the hot tub?
Yeah.
Will it make me wet?
Well.
I'm gonna do my thing right now.
That's right.
That scared me. That freaked me out. I thought it was on the same.
I'm back.
I thought he was in the house.
I tell you what, a bunch of people swerved their cars there, man.
Anyway,
I try and help.
That's right.
absolutely beautiful Wednesday in Paradise. Big day today. Early signing. We're going to have a lot of kids at Arnold High School. 11 o'clock will be signing. And one of the biggest, Blair and Coop Moss has happened. We'll be signing with the Florida Gators if anything doesn't happen between now and then. So we'll have Coop in here today. I'm hoping around 8 o'clock we can have him and Steve come in here and ask some questions. Glenn said he has some tough questions to ask. Glenn, you better be nice. You better be nice.
No. It's all about the kids today. So I'm on my soapbox today too. So
watch out.
Yeah, me and the FHSA have a little quarrel.
Why? It's such a well-reasoned and well-thought organization.
I think they wouldn't mind if Northwest Florida was just added to Alabama or Georgia or Mississippi. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't care.
You got there's some truth to that.
Yeah, here's the thing. Well, I'll go into all three schools that are playing today. First of all, in Bay High, because it's closer to me, but, Bay High is number 8. We have to travel 5 or 6 hours to Raines. All right, and so the bad problem is we should have been ranked 7th and have to go to Godby. And then Swanee, who's ranked 7th, who should go to, Jacksonville. But here's the reason. All 4 of those people that are in the Raines, Godby, Baker County, Menendez, and Swanee are all in the same district. Swanee was 4-6, 0-3 in the district, and they are rated above Bay High School, who is 5-5 and 2-0 in our district. We're district champs. So it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Wakulla plays Menendez, which is over by Jacksonville. If we were to beat Raines, we'd still have to turn right around and go back. Because they're number 5 and we would be number.
Did anybody ever ask any of these coaches raise their hand and say what happened to the district champions getting to host a game? We
I don't
nothing for them.
Again, when you go down there, that's the rule, or that's
Guys,
the way the
come
Max Preps works out. But that it's just then the county does not provide transportation anymore like they used to for if you go into playoffs.
Okay, when did that happen?
I don't know. I've been out for 11 years, so I don't know. But the thing, too, is now, if you go back to back, do we have enough school bus drivers to take a school bus? All right, if we don't do that, then we got to take a charter. Well, the charters work on economics. Okay, so if a lot of people need a bus, the bus prices go up. If you're the only one playing that weekend, then the bus prices go down. So, it's going to cost Bay High School almost $6,200, and they can't stay the night, and they're going to go over and come back.
That's the reason we got to get everybody out there that's listening right now to go to Bay High School, give $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever you can.
But the bad problem is, okay, you have 3 teams going, but then what if the soccer teams from all 3 schools, the basketball teams from all 3 schools, now you're hitting the same people over and over in different sports.
Yep.
It's just, either the county needs to give more money to transportation to cover some of this, or take up what they used to do.
Why don't the state cut their cut of the game?
I don't think they pay anything for travel anymore. I'm not sure.
We need to raise money for the state to put that back in, and raise money apparently for Max Preps to be able to travel all the way up here and see how good our teams are.
Right.
Yeah, that Max Prep. I told you back when they got involved, and somebody's making money somewhere.
All right, and then the other thing too is Chipley's got to go about 8 hours to wherever they're playing. So, but anyway, so then we get to Arnold. And so Arnold, is rated number 7. Now they do play Choctaw again. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if they were number 6, they would still have to travel pretty well. They would have to go just to Pensacola to play Escambia.
Yeah.
All right. So, but anyway, and then you know, when you get into some of those things, you got to go. Pine Forest should be in there, but they're going in there right now. They're number 4. They got to travel all the way to Ed White, which is in Jacksonville.
Jeez.
So, you know,
Isn't Niceville number 1?
This I'm when I get to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's 4.
All right, so
That'll
when
be
we get
5,
to when I get to Mosley, okay, when we get to Mosley, and Mosley's the one who I think they really got hosed.
Oh,
on this.
yeah.
Big time.
So here's the thing: Niceville's rated number 1. They're 9-1, 2-1 in the district. Okay, number 2 is Lincoln. Lincoln's 8-2 and 2-0 in their district too. Okay, but Niceville beat Lincoln.
And Mosley beat
Mosley
Niceville.
beat Niceville. So Mosley should be number 1.
And they're district champ.
And
right, yeah.
and Lincoln has 2 losses.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Lincoln's 8-2.
Yeah.
But
So Mosley is a district champ, beat the team they ranked number 1.
All right, let's
and they
go
got
through
travel.
every argument. They'll say, well, Mosley lost to a 2A school. They did at their place on the last second play. Guess who one of Lincoln's losses was to?
Same
A
team.
2A school. Not the same team, but another 2A school. And they were good. Look, Lincoln's good.
Right.
Mosley's good. Niceville's good.
right, but you know,
But how Mosley's at least not number 2, I don't get.
well, here's the thing: Mosley should be number 1. Then they would be playing. They would play in Middleburg. Okay, and then if they won that one, they would be playing the 4 and 5 team, which would be Ponte Verde, Verdra, or Beachside.
At home.
At home,
That's
that's correct.
the key in being
comment.
2 or
Is
3.
Mosley traveling this Friday?
No.
Okay,
no,
good.
No.
Good.
And then if they win, I'm sure they'll have to go. If Lincoln wins, they'll have to go to Lincoln because Lincoln's number 2.
That's the problem.
Yeah. See.
Wow.
So, you know, to win the district and beat the team that's the number 1 team ranked, you're getting hosed. And they don't care. They don't care down there. It's just like, well, that's the way it came out. Well, ding dong, you could think about this a little bit, but they don't.
Well, the county ADs, the football coach, everybody's got to stand up and fight back.
You know how well it was run back in early 80s and 90s?
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Principal Davis from Crestview, Principal Fred Goodman from Bay High, they were the president and the vice president of FHSA. Every other weekend they would go down and run the program, and they had great people running it.
Yeah.
So, but now we got to have a conglomerate of people, and they want to take your money instead of giving money back.
Right.
And they're
Because
saying
it's about the
percent.
organization, not about the teams.
Yes, right.
Pay those high salaries down there.
Yeah, and and then Bay High's got to go over to Jacksonville Range. Now, if you've ever been to Jacksonville, you don't want to leave your car over there in the Range area because it won't be there when you come back. I'm just telling you.
And that's an expensive trip.
And the thing too is, we need some kind of security. I don't know if the security is going or not. Coach Brown may have to tell you that. I don't know, but all right, you send them to the worst place in Jacksonville. Hopefully, they'll have some kind of security, but. You never know.
Hey, do what you want to do, but if you're a district champ, you should host a home game. The first round, Bay should host. They won a district championship. You should be rewarded for that. Mosley should be ranked higher than the teams that they beat.
I don't think Arnold should have to play the team they played during the year to the second round.
Let me ask you this too, Glenn. What are those strength of schedule stuff? What if the teams they played had people hurt? Do they look at that? Oh, their strength of schedule is tough, but half the team didn't play because they were hurt.
They're going to use the Jordan Travis excuse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how they figured the thing that really, it kind of bothers me that, 1 year Choctaw filed for isolation, and the FHSA was going to give them the isolation so they could play us and a couple other people. I'm going do you know anything about
They walked in the meeting, Glenn goes, "What are you doing here?"
And I know it. I said,
"You were rude."
Well, that's the first time I heard somebody give me good luck, and then I hope you die at the same time. But you know what? I had to go over. Me and Mr. Coach Hale went over there and pleaded their case.
Yeah. I remember all that.
So we had to take the BRAC report, which was a military report telling how the Eglin and them are going to affect Choctaw.
Now you're going to have to take this call. Good morning.
Good morning. I got a Southern solution. Secession. Get out of Florida, or merge with Alabama, and you can play Cottonwood.
Hey, I will say this: at least
Secession didn't work real good.
Alabama and Georgia know what they're doing. I'll give them credit; they run it right.
They do.
So does Tennessee.
Florida.
We're from
Tennessee's got 9 classes, Coach Manley. If you count the privates,
we do what Colorado
does. Yeah,
But you need.
there's some kind of there's got to be a good in between, you know. And Coach Manley's right. It takes good people. A good system doesn't work without good people. You know, it's about the process, the system, getting the right people on the bus. Where have I heard that before? I don't know. Hey, you got a scouting report on Agnes Scott? Are they going to score against y'all over in Tuscaloosa this weekend?
They're pretty good. Mercer's pretty good.
I don't think he knows who. You know who Agnes Scott is?
No, I thought they was talking about Mercer.
No.
Mercer's pretty good, by the way.
Agnes Scott.
Are they really? Okay, now we played a Southern Conference school, Chattanooga, you know, but Mercer, come on, man.
Wait a minute
I know
now.
a guy from my neighborhood who got recruited by him. He went down there because Capricorn Records was there, and he liked smoking dope and doing mushrooms, you know, because he loves the Allman Brothers. That's way back. Let's get away from that.
Look,
But anyway,
Alabama's-
I hear what they're doing to y'all.
Alabama's trying to help grow a small program. We're looking out for the little guy.
We give him back.
All right,
we
now.
now.
Be careful with the Mercer Bears now.
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm jumping on that bandwagon. Have you seen how many broken wheels the Mississippi State one has?
Yeah, well, hey, you know, at one time, you're also a Titans fan like me.
Oh, my God, that's even
Are
worse.
you a Predators fan? Come
Yeah.
on. It's all last place. I will say this. Troy State has one more victory than Southern Miss, I believe.
Hey, we're terrible.
What about,
We are
what
absolutely
about
terrible.
the Blue Raiders? They're not tearing it up either.
Southern's
No,
terrible,
but
man.
Glenn, they may be producing the next Florida State coach. You know, the Stockstill program, you know.
No, I had
Simmons,
enough.
Come on.
No, that cannot
You
happen.
don't want Simmons to come down there?
He wants prime time.
No,
Prime's coming.
Let me tell you what. I had enough
I
of
want
Scott's.
Santa Claus to bring me a Bentley, too, but
Yeah,
it ain't going to happen.
Well, it may be a toy one. You can push it around. Look, here's the thing with Stockstill. Okay, he came in there after the Andy McCullum and asked him for all this stuff, and Andy was actually winning games. And he comes in and they give him all this stuff because the AD from South Carolina came in to be the new AD after Boots Donnelly left. So
Yeah.
it's kind of I'm not happy with him. I quit sending them money, by the way, for that.
Let me give you a quick Boots story. It's not really Boots. It's the guy that succeeded him at Father Ryan, one of those Confederate poets that they didn't change the name of, unlike Coach Hale's guy, Sidney Lanier. But anyway, this is one of my first forays into coaching in high school. I'm standing between a coach and Billy Boy. You know that name?
Mm-hmm.
He was, you know, and they're the coach of Father Ryan, Billy Boy. Anyway, so there's a real big thunderstorm on one of these worthless summer scrimmages, and Billy Boy asked the other coach, he goes, hey, what are we going to do? And the other coach goes, and he mumbles a lot. And Billy Boy looked at me and he said, well, what did he say? And I said, anyway, y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you, Mike.
McKenzie's number one. Go East High. Maybe I'll beat Alcoa this year.
No,
Go
God,
Vols,
no it.
too.
I know it. We need to.
Go Vols.
Yep.
But getting back to one thing they make, and people don't understand, if you haven't coached, you know what we're talking about. They make money off jamborees. They make money off playoff games. Every way they can make money, they're taking money out of your pocket. And the schools aren't making much money anymore like we used to. They're not. Every single sport they take up. I wonder how much they bring in every year.
I don't know, but
Render unto Caesar.
yeah.
They need to either cut their share
I don't know,
50%,
but,
or
you know,
something's got to be done.
we should have a school board member here today. We can ask him.
We got good positive stuff today with him.
I'm not going to ask questions. I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm just going to ask questions. I mean, I went through all this. You know, when and Julie can tell you all that too. When we used to travel, if you had to take a charter bus, you wrote up a report that told how much it would cost to take a school bus, and you put all the prices down, and you sent that in, and they sent you a check. Or they send it to the bus company, that amount, and you pay the other
difference.
amount. Yeah, so it really worked out pretty good. But, you know, I don't know. We just, you know, and coaches pay, while I'm on this little, coaches pay is, right now, you know, the teachers' unions decide that because of what comes in on the pay raises.
All right, let's talk about something really good right now.
All right.
That is today at J. Michael's restaurant, the world-famous J. Michael's Spaghetti, only on Wednesday. Glenn brought in the world-famous Dandy Donuts. They're outstanding. I don't mention their name. But
Satan
they
rings.
Were good.
Satan rings. Yeah.
You pull me in with them. They're good, man. Golly, they're good. Anyway, J. Michaels Day. Go check it out. They only do it on Wednesdays. Lunch and dinner will be packed out tonight. The legendary J. Michaels. Spaghetti. But they got the best seafood also. South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker. You know his dad was a principal at Moses, did an unbelievable job. He raised a beautiful son. Chuck has just gone out and knocked out of the ballpark. His company is expanding throughout Northwest Florida. The elite realtors, Beth Moby, Mark Coward, they all want to use South Oak. They demand it, matter of fact. You know, multi-million-dollar homes. They're going to use South Oak Title and Closing. Everything's perfect. Never a mistake. South Oak Title and Closing is number one. No one else. That's all you should think about. South Oak Title and Closing. Just like Stevenson Air Conditioning, they're the best at what they do. Locals taking care of locals throughout Northwest Florida. Give a service there about 6 months, right before winter, right before summer. Just like Wildcat said, just ain't right till you get it serviced. Stevenson Air Conditions, they're there for you anytime, day or night. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, they keep asking, when is Manley going to be here? One Thursday, we're going to get him in there dressed up like Baby Elvis, and he's going to knock it out of the ballpark. The best happy hour anywhere. Buy one, get one free. You can't beat that. House wine, margarita, draft beer. Lunch specials Monday through Friday when the games are being played on Saturdays and Sundays. $5 pitchers. Go check it out right across the street from Navy Base. This is a place everybody's having birthday parties. You might see Coop Moss down there, Steve Moss. They love it.
I'll be dressed as Baby Huey. So.
You are Baby Huey. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. We get back. We get Coach Brown on the phone. What the heck is going on? We got to get some money up for Bay High School quickly.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your touchdown headquarters for the Mosley Dolphins and the Auburn Tigers.
Touchdown, Auburn!
Plus, premier college and NFL games. Your source for the most live football in the Gulf Coast in a rich audio experience.
ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the east-southeast, mostly clouds and 80. A variety of mostly clouds and very light rain tonight, a little colder at 71. Tomorrow, a good chance of sprinkles in the morning followed by some clouds and a high of 72. About the same at 71 Friday, and we'll have sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $41.99 a month when you use the ESPN-NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3. ESPN Northwest Florida. Not only is it a special day at J. Michaels, but if you're in Lynn Haven, you've got to get to Brief O'Brady's. The service is incredible. I love the people that work there. I love the owner. But today, and a day only, 10 wings inside for $9.99. You cannot beat that. If you're in Lynn Haven, get out to Brief O'Brady's. Brian, you got something for us?
Yeah, I received a text. You're right. Mosley did get no, I'm sorry. That was the wrong thing. That's true.
I'm getting the same thing.
No, here's what I got. We do have, you think about it, it's like, there's probably not going to be sports teams down. There's nothing going on in Panama City Beach, right? 20 plus high school lacrosse teams. Woo. Lacrosse. at Public Sports Park this weekend. That's both boys and girls. One of the fastest growing sports in the country, and
Indian
we're
hockey.
hosting them down here.
Glenn, does the FCA get any cut of
Oh, yeah.
Do they get a cut of that money also?
The FCA? No, I don't know.
FHSAA might.
Yeah, one of them. Anyway.
I'm sure if you put on a tournament, you have to pay.
Bunch of leeches.
You have to pay to put on the tournament.
All right, let's bring him on now. Bay High School wins a district champs.
Yes, sir.
They are a champion of a district. They have been rewarded. They're going to go to Jacksonville.
Somebody
play
tell
football.
Max Preps.
Well, Coach, I don't know. I couldn't put up with what you guys put up with. I don't know. How you doing, Coach Brown?
I'm good, guys. How y'all doing this morning?
Couldn't be better. Congratulations on winning a championship. You're in the playoffs. A lot of teams out there already put up all the equipment. You guys are still practicing, still preparing. And we're telling everybody, you tell me if I'm wrong now, but we've been telling people, go by Bay High School. If you can bring $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever, bring it by, drop it off, and tell them to give it to the football program. Is that okay, or is there something else we can do?
No, Coach, that's awesome, man. I mean, we've posted all of our, Cash App, PayPal. We're doing a vertical raise fundraiser. We've posted all that on our social media pages. People can write checks, make it out to the Bay High Quarterback Club. And if you want to go by and grab, a case of Gatorade, a case of water, some bananas, some granola bars, a box of chips, we'll take anything just to kind of help offset any of the costs that we're having to, to shell out to make this trip.
Okay, we'll start saying that then. That's good.
Yep. So,
Glenn, you got some questions you want to ask Coach?
no, I just, we talked about Swanee getting in, and besides us having to go everywhere, Pensacola High was left out. They're 5-5 and 1-1 in the district, and they were left out too. So, Coach, you know the scenario better than I do, but we should be going over to Tallahassee, and then Swanee should be going to Jacksonville, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, Coach, I know how to, I'm just a football coach. I'm not a mathematician by any stretch of the imagination, but I've never in the history of a math equation as when it comes to sports have heard of a team that's 4-6 in any ranking system being higher than a team that's 5-5. Especially when the 5-5 team was undefeated in the district and the 4-6 team didn't win a district game. And I think the issue I know for me and my staff is the transparency as far as the how are we coming up with what's the formula? How are we coming up with that? You're told, well, it's just max prep. Then they say, well, it's max preps, and then we have our own little formula that we add into that, and we combine them, and then they tell you, well, it's all head to head. The head to head is what matters, and then you look at a team like Mosley who got screwed because they beat Niceville and Niceville beat Lincoln, but here Mosley is at the 3 seed. You know what I mean? So, well, then they say, well, it's strength of schedule. Well, there's no way in a strength of schedule that a 0-3 district team, their strength of schedule could be. It just doesn't. None of it adds up. You know what I mean? And so, but it seems like every year it's something different.
Yeah, and the other thing too, is that that one district, everybody in that district got in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the FHA, it's hard when you sit there and say, well, your strength of schedule matters, and you know what I mean, and this and that. But then, like this year, we feel like, well, we're punished by, we didn't have we only had a 3-team district, but we didn't make up the district. We didn't pick the district. The FHSA put us in the district. They put us in the district, and then we're punished because we're in a 3-team district. It doesn't make sense.
Does anybody know, because I really believe this in my heart, when they got involved, Max Prep got involved, somebody made some money out of this deal. Someone, somehow, some way, got a kickback. I don't know if it was the Florida High School Athletic Association. I don't know if it was Max. I don't know how, but they just don't let something happen for no reason. And what was wrong with the old way? What was wrong with the old way when you had districts and you knew what you had to do to make the playoffs? It didn't matter about worrying about somebody you scheduled that you have no control over who they scheduled. And I do get it. I was down in Southwest Florida when you had Manatee, Bradenton, and Southeast, all three in the same district. All three of them could have won a state championship, and one of them always did, but they were in the same district. That's how it got started in the first place. But all districts aren't that way. you can't please everybody. I like the old way. You put me in a district, I know I got to win these games right here. If I do, I get rewarded. I play home. I'm a district champ. What they did to Mosley is terrible. That's a piece of crap. What they did to Mosley, and you guys having to travel to Jacksonville after winning a district championship is a joke. It's just wrong.
Well, you know, and you kind of start asking yourself, well, is it just the Bay County teams that the FHSA seems to neglect, forget about, or we always get the short end of the stick? Because, you know, Arnold didn't get a great deal either because they were ranked in, I think they were sixth, I believe it was, for the last 2 weeks of the season, the week 11 and then the extra week. You know what I mean? Well, the team ranked below them, they were the exact same rankings for 2 weeks. Neither one of them played a game week 10 or week 11. Then when the rankings came out, they jumped Arnold.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah,
how does that, you know what I mean? And it kind of goes back, Coach, to if we go back to Hurricane Michael, you know, it was like when Hurricane Michael hit Panama City, the FHSA, they wouldn't even hardly take a phone call. Like, you couldn't, it was like, well, y'all figure it out. It's, you know, it's just y'all's little pocket. Didn't affect everybody else, so we're not really gonna do anything about it. Well, then here we go this year when the hurricane hit down south, and oh my gosh, you would have thought time stopped. I mean, we had to make all these different arrangements and an extra week, and we had to do all this stuff to accommodate. So it's back to that whole, you know, it seems that everybody south of Tampa or south of Tallahassee gets these special concessions, and we're so concerned with accommodating them, and everybody north of Tallahassee just like, well, y'all figure it out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have the votes. We don't have the power. The population's all down that way, and they control it. And that's the reason private schools are in the same district as publics, because most of the politicians' kids go to those private schools. It's just a fact. I coach down there. I know how it is down that way. But it's not right. Let me ask you this, Jeremy. You don't know. We got younger coaches now. It's different. But do most of the coaches, are they okay with max prep determining all this stuff, or the state? Wouldn't you want to go back the old days and say, look, we're going to go to district champs, get in the first two teams, and that's it? Can't we raise enough cane and get all the coaches together, the county ADs together, and go, this is what we want? But I guess it's okay for the teams down south. I guess they're coming out pretty good with this stuff.
Yeah, you know, and I think, you know, I haven't, you know, obviously I don't know every single coach in the state of Florida, but I know my fair share, and I don't know any that says, man, this is the best system, this is great. I mean, everyone I've talked to is like, man, if, you know, it'd be one thing if we all knew the formula and we all knew every year what the formula was, because then by week 8 we could all start saying, okay, this is where we can start preparing, this is where we're going to end up. But, you know, like now I don't know any coaches that say, man, this is a great system. Everybody I've talked to is like, don't know why we don't go back to the old system with the top two. You know, within the FHSA, you know, the schools down south, because they're the bigger counties and bigger districts. Well, that's not fair, you know, for a 3-team district. And I'm like, well, the FHSA makes a district. They need to be a little bit more involved and you know, cognizant about the districts and, you know, that kind of deal. And I know a lot of people have talked about doing like they do in Alabama and Georgia, just do away with districts and go to regions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You play your eight region games, and you kind of know, okay, this is where everybody makes the playoffs. This is where we're kind of seated, and we go from there. You know what I mean? But it's, you know, this is I've been at Bay High. This is my 3rd year. We've won 2 district championships in 3 years, and we've had to travel both years.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Tough. Yeah, you get punished for winning a championship. It doesn't make any sense. And talk about the expense. How much money is going to cost? Glenn's saying it's going to be at least $6,000 to go over there.
Oh, coaches, it's $6,200 just for the bus.
Wow.
Like we won't be able to. Like for us, we won't be able to go over and spend the night or the night before, because we don't have those kind of resources. And you know, and we're only taking one bus where normally we might take 2. You know, you bring all your guys up off the JV, your 6 quarter guys, and they've been practicing with you. We're going to have to leave some of them at home just to create space on the bus for coaches and our filmers and our managers. And so, you know, you're talking $6,200 for the bus. You know, another $1,000 for a pregame meal, probably another $1,000 for a postgame meal. Not to mention the extra Gatorades and snacks you got to have, because you can't have your kids all day. You know. 4.5, 5 hours on a bus, and not keeping them hydrated like they would do on a normal school day. You know what I mean? So it's just there's just a lot of things that go into it, and it just seems like that the people that make these decisions, they don't understand because they're not the ones that are having to try to figure it out. And on top of that, trying to figure out how to win a football game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The X's and O's part of it, and keeping your kids locked in and keeping them prepared, and you know what I mean. And so it's just it's not just a hey, let's just roll out this bus and let's go. You know what I mean? There's a lot more behind the scenes, I think, than most people realize.
Well, Coach, we'll do what we can to help and just let us know what else we can do. And good luck to you, and we'll talk to you next week regardless of what happens, okay?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great rest of the week.
Thank you, buddy.
You too.
Thank you. All right, let's go quickly. Dr. Chad Mitchell, a legendary doctor. 25 years he's been on the sidelines. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. If you get injured in any way, you call Chad Mitchell, make an appointment. He'll take care of you. The guy does a great job. He's talking about locals, taking care of locals. Taco Bell, you Tiger Sharks down there, you're in the state playoffs, and I think they got a bye this week, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they got a bye. Get out to Taco Bell. They got DoorDash going down there. All you Tiger Sharks, make sure you get to Taco Bell. They're supporting you guys big. Matter of fact, without them, we wouldn't be talking about you guys right now. But we enjoy it now, so I don't think we'll let you go. But thank you, Taco Bell. All you Rams, Callaway, Taco Bell, go support them. They always support the Rams. 3 great locations in Panama City Beach. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Taco Bell. Wonderful people down there. Paparazzi Pizza, one of Glenn's favorite places. I tell you what, he just doesn't share very well. The best pizza you'll get anywhere. $11 and some change. You get 2 huge slices of pizza and a drink. Take Glenn with you and just get another drink. That's all you need. It's incredible. Paparazzi, the bakery, second to none. Unbelievable. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Wildcat, you have your drink this morning?
No.
I can tell you cranky. I can look at you and tell you it's not yourself.
I prepared it, got it ready to bring down here, put some fresh water in it, and my Max Fit
left it
cup and left
it on the counter.
Yes,
he has that other drink, though.
Yeah, he never forgets that other one, believe me.
Little brown jug.
We'll be right back. Florida State, Glenn Manley, what's going on with Seminoles, 104.3, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
The issues that we're talking about are cultural with the Dallas Cowboys. And it starts with the head man, Jerry Jones. As they say, a fish rots from the head down. Jason Garrett couldn't overcome it. Bill Parcells couldn't overcome it. Wade Phillips couldn't overcome it.
Right.
You have all of these coaches who have done well in the NFL at other places can't overcome what Jerry Jones has put in place and set in motion.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive a new 2024 Kia. You'll see why everyone is talking about Kia. The 2024 Kia will give you the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2024 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in a luxury sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Drive away today in a new 2024 Kia K5. Performance, power, and design built just for you. Discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Bill Bird Kia, the original home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you just like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Clare, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you. Serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Nice. that the Charleston Southern theme song?
You could tell he hadn't had any of those drinks today.
No.
He does it.
Sometimes they do it, and sometimes they don't.
You did it on purpose.
Florida State.
Woo! Come on, John. We got to play it in here. We haven't heard it much this year.
That's right.
Brian, be nice.
I am being nice.
We haven't.
Because you can't hear it over the crying.
Hey,
listen, Kentucky, I wouldn't be crowing if I was you.
Fair enough.
I give up.
Before we get into the FSU update brought to you by Newbies, we got 4 great locations. John and Charlotte, we all know they always give back to the community. Get out and support Newbies. Newbies 2 on the Curve, all sporting events, and get down to the mothership. And we got the new one in St. Andrews.
Yeah, Newbies on the Bay. It's the blue building right there on Bayview Avenue.
We had a Veterans Day Monday. And I was talking and bragging on you like I always do. Always positive, always upbeat. Never nothing.
Is that
negative.
why you had a lawyer after me? Is that why?
That's one of the reasons. Well, I was bragging about you, all you did in Vietnam. But, he could fly a helicopter. He'd get in rat holes, and they give him a flashlight. He'd go down there and kill snakes and Charlie.
I was in. This is a gruesome thing. I was in charge of the blood bank, of all things. Me and some guys, about 7 or 8 of us, and you put the plasma in the blood on, and it has to go out to these places
to save people's life. Well, what we were getting at is we were bragging on you, and then somebody in the studio, I'm not going to mention his name, he's behind that glass there. He goes, I thought he was in charge of the outhouse.
Well,
so let me tell you any truth about that?
Let me tell you what, though, if you ever had to get run of one, put that JP4 jet fuel in there and set it on fire.
That's what he thought you did. I said, well, okay, he had more important things than that.
Now
there is nothing more important than having a place to go potty.
That's true.
Glenn got frustrated. He spent all that time over in Southeast Asia. Never met one person named Charlie. He kept
That's
looking.
right. I kept looking for him. I know.
Lieutenant Dan. you hang around Lieutenant Dan?
I'll tell you what, though. We did this one little joke, and if you, back then, everybody used to smoke, when they weren't smoking others, to cigarettes and cigars, and they flicked the ashes in these tall ashtray. So we would go in there and take the top off and squirt lighter fluid down in there. And you swash it around, and you pour it out, and you put the top back on. There's fumes in there. So they'd come in there and flick the ashes in there. If one of the sparks went down there, kaboom, it'd blow that top all the way to the ceiling. They would think...
Did anybody ever pull a gun out and start shooting?
No, but they would think... They would
need an outhouse after that.
No, they would lay down and think it was a mortar attack or something, but that was just...
People, these are the kind of guys that we left the safety to our country.
Happy Veterans Day.
Well, and here's the worst part. I used to sit riding that bus thinking if these people knew who was in charge of their kids, they wouldn't put them on the bus. So anyway, but let's get to the crying towel sport here. Anyway, first before we do that, I want to give a shout out to the FSU women's soccer team. They're one of the ranked, one of the 4 number 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament. FSU, Duke, UCLA, University of Southern Cal, and Mississippi State.
Go!
They're all...
we're winning at something?
They're all number 1 seeds in the tournament. And FSU starts out with Sanford on November 15th at 5 p.m. That's at FSU. Duke plays Howard at November the 15th at 6 p.m. I think that'll be at Duke. And USC plays Sacramento at 17th at 5 p.m. And Mississippi State plays Southern. So that starts it. And the men's basketball team is 3-0 right now. So there are some positive things going on. Women's basketball has like a 4-2 record. So
what you're saying is if your school is good at women's soccer, you are not very good at football.
Well,
that's the trend I see there.
Well.
Anyway, we have had several people go ahead and commit. Trammell Jones, out of Jacksonville is a quarterback. He's committed. There's twin brothers. They're defensive linemen. They've both committed, so they're going to, even after all that, they visited when Florida State was actually in Notre Dame. They came in on the weekend, and they went ahead and commit. As we talked about, and I know you've talked about it, they got rid of the offensive and defensive coordinator and also the wide receiver coach. So what's going on right now is there's a lot of people that could be up for this OC job, and there are some people that have put some interest in this, but there's some of the people that have been named, and they have connections to Norville or connections to Florida State. And so the first one is Brandon Marion. He's a UNLV. He's the offense coordinator, quarterback coach. He actually played at Tulsa when Norville was the coach there. Kevin Johns, who is Oklahoma co-offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, he actually coached with Norvell at Memphis as the OC. And then there's two other guys that were mentioned, but I don't know how good these are guys can be. Daryl Dickey and Chip Long, they are also OCs at places, and so I'm not sure how they are. But people that's got ties to FSU, Tino Sunseri, he's the Indiana co-offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. He was on FSU staff 2016-2017. And then this guy doesn't need any introduction, but you will know Chris Winkie. He's the Georgia Tech assistant head coach, co-offensive coordinator, and quarterback coach. And, of course, you know what he did at Florida State. And if you watch Georgia Tech's offense, they have done a lot of good stuff. So the other guy is Mike Shanahan. He is an offensive coordinator and wide receiver coach at Indiana. The only people that have outscored Indiana is Miami. So he's got some good stuff. A guy named Joe Craddock, who's a Tulane OC and quarterback coach. He's currently, they have the number 4 team in scoring in the nation right now. And he's also the recruiting coordinator, and he's connected to the South. And Jawan Snyder is Penn State assistant head coach, co-offensive coordinator, and running back coach. And so he also has connections to the South. Another guy is Willie Korn, who is the offensive coordinator at Liberty, and Cade Bell, I've heard that name before. He's the offensive coordinator at Pittsburgh. So those are the people that have been named. Haven't seen anything on the DC yet, but I'm sure that's coming out soon.
Go back to Winkie.
Would
it be better for him just to hold out and one day try to become the head football coach there instead of coming into a situation that could get out of hand next year if he didn't have a better year?
I don't know. His strong ties to FSU would lend, if Norvell left, then he may be it. I would think so. All the things he did. So, but
what I'm getting, if he's in Tallahassee when it's going down south, you don't want to be there. You want to be the savior, come in and save it, not come in and be part of the.
Well, he's, like I said, when they played Florida State over there, I said he had mixed emotions, but he didn't, say, I'm glad we're playing them. No. He was pretty neutral on that. But, I'm sure there's strong ties there for him to be at FSU. So we'll have to wait and see. The two guys from Indiana would be, either one of those guys would be good. I think the guy from Tulane, we just need, when you watch these other teams run their offense, it's just, they're so much more inventive. And with Jordan Travis, we had a little bit more ingenuity in some of our plays, But when you run the flanker screen out there and the other flanker, the screen, they don't block.
Or they don't catch.
And then, that goes back to the coach, even though, he can't catch it for him now. He is a great receiver and blocker himself, but, you got to get production. I don't think he did a good job of recruiting. So.
Let me ask you this. We were talking about this yesterday. Do you believe this is it for us, the people that are going to lose their job? They could be more. Do you think they will be more?
That could be more. I think the linebacker coach, Shannon. But even though he's been a defense coordinator and a head coach, I don't know if he's doing a good job on recruiting either. So, we'll just have to see what goes on there. We do need a more structured defense. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be more of a structure there. So
my advice, Winkie, would be if you're wanting to be the head football coach at FSU and you're winning where you're at, I would stay. I wouldn't come jumping on this. It's going to be tough to get this thing turned around. And it's better to come in where you're on top and turn something around than come and be part of the downfall, and they're not going to promote anybody that's on that staff when they're not doing very well.
Yeah.
Then again, they could turn around and down the road he could get it. So you don't know. You don't know. We got a caller.
We got a text in from Coach Siegel. He said I'm available.
Hey, I take him.
There we go.
He's been in a lot of places, and actually he was at coaching in the Canadian Football League too. So
tell you what, the biggest. What they did to him, I'm still upset about that.
I know he should still.
No matter who came in, they couldn't do any worse. They are currently 134th in scoring offense.
Well, out of all the 600 schools,
this is of 134 in the top. Yeah, it's bad.
Of all the schools, 600 something of them, we're in the bottom 25.
Not only that, not only Florida State, but what about this past weekend when they all lost? I don't know that's ever happened.
So the Miami Dolphins winning on Monday was the only thing that saved the state of Florida. It was crazy.
Wasn't on the weekend.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Oh, technicality.
Yes,
Nice.
I'm
well
getting
played,
on.
sir.
I am a professional.
Boy, what a lawyer you are.
Don't try this at home. I am a professional. All right, and Bear did good, man.
He did, yeah, man. I'll tell you what,
good.
congratulations to him. That's an
that was
experience.
cool.
Again, we're going to ask you all to help out. If you can give money to Bay High School and then Mosley and Arnold, that would be outstanding. And I know everybody's hurting right now. We know that great things are going to be happening in the future for this country. But if right now, if you could do it, go by Bay High School, drop off Gatorade, drop off anything you think they could use on this trip. Money's the big deal. Same thing over at Arnold High School in Panama City Beach, and especially Mosley High School. They're going. I got a feeling they're going to be in it for a while, so they're going to need some money. So if you can do it, please do so. Right, Wildcat?
That's right, because diesel fuel is not cheap.
That's right.
Wildcat, we could even, one of them won a state championship, and they want to make some kind of jewelry for the champions.
To commemorate
where could they
the
go?
event. Yeah, all they got to do is call up Russ or Amber and then head on out to 830 Highway 77, David Adamson Designer Jewelry over there in Lynn Haven. You design it, they'll create it, and they'll repair old jewelry. They'll appraise your jewelry that's been laying around. Christmas just around the corner, 75% off everything in the store. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
I tell you, I'm pumped up about this. Vandergriffs, you know the Vandergriffs,
Yeah.
legendary family. His dad was a coach. How many years was he a coach over
Gosh,
there? Forever?
30, yes.
I think all the people he's coached, everybody knows him. And Judy ran for the superintendent's job. Should have got it. She's incredible. The boys both played sports. Kyle and some partners, they're going to open up the local 115 on Harrison Avenue. It's not opened up yet. We're going to let you know exactly when it's going to be opening. But this is going to be cool. It's an oyster bar, sports-themed restaurant. It's going to be incredible. Oyster bar, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbo, soups, salads, wings, ice cold beer. You name it, they're going to have it. They're going to be open for lunch and dinner. And Julie and I, every weekend when football's over, we always go down to Harrison Avenue. They got the market there on Saturdays. We always do that. We always go in that gun store right there. Now, I know we're going to be eating lunch every Saturday right now, and it's going to be at the 115 Locals on Harrison Avenue. We'll tell you more about this in the future. It's going to open sometime in December, and we want you all down there. I think they have a big old picture of Glenn in there, right by the bathroom.
Aim here.
Where, thank you. Hey, also, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, home of the Auburn Tigers. But this week, you're also going to be able to listen to the Tennessee-Georgia football game, elimination game. Be right back.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State.
Woo!
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
I feel like as long as we're not watering down the sport and, making it easier to accomplish those things, look, if we knew those records were never going to be broken, it would sort of take some of the fun out of watching. You'd like to think there's somebody going to come along that's going to do something you've never seen before.
Join Ryan Mulvey. Thank you very little. Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the east-southeast, mostly clouds and 80. A variety of mostly clouds and very light rain tonight, a little colder at 71. Tomorrow, a good chance of sprinkles in the morning followed by some clouds and a high of 72. About the same at 71 Friday, and we'll have sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
After you use Bounce Dryer Sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer Sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry...
your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show,
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
That's a good one right there. That's an old one right there, man. Hey, and welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got to jump into this phone call real quick. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
We couldn't be better. What's going on?
Well, yeah, I've been gone for a few months, and y'all just let Florida State go all to hell.
That was Glenn. I blame that on Glenn Manley.
We did that in a rocket sled, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what he said that was sure enough true is it can't be no worse. I think me and you and the guy that bakes sandwiches down at the junior store would have coached them better than they've looked this year.
Yeah, the guy in charge of produce is calling the plays, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I think a lot of Norvell. By the way, the Shanahan guy also played for Norvell, the guy at Indiana.
Yeah,
You know, everybody's trying to get coaches from Indiana right now. Signetti's, if he ain't coach of the year, I heard somebody say just get rid of the award, he's probably going to win it. I did want to say a couple of things. One, the high school stuff. It ain't just you guys. I was reading online the other day. There's 2 schools in a district down in Central Florida, I think it is. One of them beat the other and had a better record and didn't get in. The other one got in.
Wow.
How do you do that? I mean, how does head-to-head not be the deciding factor, all other things being equal? I don't understand that.
People who didn't play or coach making decisions, that's how.
I guess that, because to me that ends the whole strength of schedule. All the other argument, that's all conjecture. They play each other. They played each other. You know, so that ought to do it. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but in Jackson County, there's a whole lot of state basketball championships. I don't think there's ever been 2 undefeated teams at the end of the year in Jackson County.
Right.
And you got Cottondale and Mariana both undefeated.
Wow.
Mariana's another one I didn't think got treated very fairly by the FHSAA. They're the 5 seed against 4 seed FSU High School, who has 3 losses on the year.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I think Cottondale's hosting. Now, I'll tell you, the team they're hosting, a whole lot better than their record. I think, you know, sometimes these small schools, they play a bunch of big schools all year.
Right.
And you can be deceived by what their record is. They wind up being pretty good. Mayo's pretty good.
Right.
Where have you been? You hadn't called us in a while. What you been on traveling?
Well, yeah, I travel to work.
Oh, okay.
So I've been to Alabama, Virginia, Pensacola. Actually, it's closer to home than I normally am.
Yeah.
But I keep up with the high school scores on ScoreStream.
Right.
I didn't get to watch Florida State much, but
well, that's a good thing.
A couple days.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
After the first quarter, you could have turned it off. So.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that's disheartening is they just don't play hard. They just don't. I mean, you watch them play, and then you turn around and you like I one night I got to watch them play, and then I think Boise State was playing somebody, UNLV or somebody afterwards, and man, it looked like 2 different speeds. You know, it was totally different. And FSU just got guys that get coaches fired playing for them. They're going to have to do a Colorado. They're going to have to seriously. They got cancer on that team. I think before the season started, they had 5 players that said, "Look, we're either going to get in the transfer portal, go pro, or you're going to give us more NIL money." Yeah. And I don't think any of those guys have produced a thing. And I can't put. You know, it's historic how bad they are.
It is.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly. I think something's at LSU too. Something's going on at LSU. I don't know.
On the defense, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen them get beat like that in an Alabama LSU game. That's crazy. Hey, we need your help. We got to get this done real quick, and we're going to ask your help. Okay? You got a few minutes? All right. Brian, Glenn, let's go. Mark, you help out too. Texas at Arkansas. Mark, who's going to win that game?
Texas.
Brian?
Texas.
Glenn? LSU at Florida. I'm telling you, I feel good about Florida's chances. Ever since Brian Kelly threw some people under the bus, that team hasn't been the same. I don't know what's going to happen. Can they bounce back after being embarrassed on national TV and beat Florida? Does Florida have enough offense to beat anybody? A weak offense versus a weak defense. Who you like?
Who's quarterbacking?
We don't know.
We'll know at 8:30.
Yeah.
At Florida. Yeah, maybe Florida.
Brian?
I'll be honest, I like LSU here.
LSU?
Even Lagway playing, he's not going to be 100%, and I think they need him to be 100%.
Glenn?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Florida just because it's in the swamp.
Florida, okay. All right, the big one. Tennessee at Georgia. Georgia should be in a bad frame of mind after the way they got treated with the polls and everything else. Who do you like, Georgia or Tennessee? Tennessee's quarterback, we're not sure what the deal is with him. I don't.
He'll play.
Who do you like?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Georgia on that. Tennessee's offense has sort of lost its mojo a little bit.
Brian?
I agree. Georgia gets this one done. Nico, another one. He'll play, but he's not going to be 100%.
Glenn, who you like?
I got Georgia also.
Bulldogs get back in the mix. Murray State at Kentucky. Two teams not very good. Two states that don't produce many good people that run boards. No, I'm just kidding. I love Kentucky.
Kentucky's all fired up over beating Duke in basketball. Let's go with Kentucky.
Brian?
Kentucky.
I had a bad experience at Murray State, so I'm gonna.
Everybody did.
Well, yes, but you weren't on the losing end of it. But I'm gonna take Kentucky.
Brian and Wildcat, I'm just kidding. My brother lives there with his beautiful wife. I love the people of Kentucky. Great.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
And they love you too.
They're really good people. They really are. South. This is a huge football game. Missouri. Their coach is telling them we belong. South Carolina's much improved. Their defense is outstanding. It's out South Carolina. That's a hard place to win. Who do you like, Mark? South Carolina?
South Carolina.
My only worry is South Carolina's been so back and forth. Like, they come off of these great wins and just lay an egg. But I'm going to stay with South Carolina here. I think he's finally got that mindset right at the team.
Glenn?
Yeah, I'm going to take South Carolina. They play at home. So.
At home, they are tough.
Yeah.
This is a tough one now. New Mexico State at Texas A&M. Who you got?
Texas A&M.
Glenn?
Is the coach from New Mexico State there?
No.
Okay, then, Texas A&M.
This team, now don't sleep on this team right here. They lead, their defense is outstanding.
I'll take A&M as well.
I knew who you had. Mercer at Alabama. Watch out for the upset this weekend.
Watch out for the Bears, baby.
Who you got?
Yeah, the Bears are going down. Alabama.
Brian?
This game will be surprisingly close until kickoff.
Glenn?
I think the score will be 0-0 right before the game. So
must win.
The Bama.
Wait, wasn't it Mercer a couple years ago that was up on Alabama at the half? No, it was Citadel. Never mind.
Well, guess what? You can't do that because Middle Tennessee's up one year and they told Coach, you're not going to win this game.
All right, I don't know who's going to start at quarterback. This is a must-win for Hugh Freeze. Monroe at Auburn. Who you guys like?
I'm voting with my heart, Auburn.
I'll be honest with you, this one might get scary close, but I'm going to take Auburn as well.
Okay. I was thinking like you. Oregon at Wisconsin. Could it be an upset? Wisconsin
He
got
didn't
a great
even
coach.
hesitate. He said Oregon. He didn't even hesitate.
What do you two think?
I'm not going to hesitate either. I think Oregon.
Wisconsin's problem is they can't put 4 full quarters together.
Okay. Clemson at Pitt. Pitt's only got one loss. Clemson at Pitt. Is that a Friday night game?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go with an upset. I'll take Pitt in that.
Ooh, okay.
I think Clemson has to have this game, and Dabo honestly is pretty good in games he has to have. It's the one he overlooks. He's in trouble. I think they win.
Clemson?
Yeah.
I'm going to take Pitt. I think they're playing at home.
Pitt's good now. They're good. All right, that's all we got for today. I don't know why.
How did we do last week?
Okay, last week Brian, you were 9 of 10. Glenn, you were 7 of 10. I was 10 of 13. I don't know how I was 10 of 13.
Well, who's keeping
Montgomery math, baby?
Oh, that's right. I didn't have you guys pick a couple games. Julie does it. And Julie, we do not have the Big Ten or ACC. Yeah, we do. I take that back. Does Ohio State play this week?
Yeah. They have Indiana, don't they? Or is that next week?
That's next week.
Yeah.
Buckeyes, let's see.
That won't tell a bye.
They've got...
By the way you yell
at
Julie,
Northwestern.
You must love your couch the way you yell.
Ohio State, Northwestern.
What?
Everybody got the Buckeyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buckeyes, yep.
All right, what about Michigan? Michigan's got...
I think whoever Michigan's playing might win.
They might have an open week because they only got 2 games.
I might take open week.
Yeah, that could be
that's what it was.
That could be overtime.
All right, we got to take a break. Hey, thank you for the call, Mark. Glad you're back in town, man. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, guys. I'll have a good one.
Thank you. All right, well, you got to go? You're out?
Yeah.
Get out.
All right, when we get back, we got Coop Moss, we got Steve Moss, we got a huge day today all over the country. We'll be talking about that. But right now, if you love seafood, it's J. Michael's. If you love spaghetti, it's J. Michael's, world famous J. Michael's spaghetti. Only on Wednesday, lunch and dinner will be completely packed out. All your real estate closing is Chuck Tucker, South Oak. Time closing's number 1.
What if you like wings?
Oh, they got good wings. They got everything.
There's another place has good wings.
That Cajun place, yeah. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I hadn't even talked about them yet. We're always there. You gonna be there at 11 o'clock?
Yes.
I'm always there. 11 o'clock Saturday mornings. We're there for the first game.
You weren't there at 11 this week.
I was there at 11:15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was watching
11-ish.
I wanted to see who Saban was going to pick, Alabama, LSU. Then I came. But I tell you what, get out that Cajun place. They got the best wings. They got $5 pitchers when the games are being played. The best seafood. Their sausage gumbo is the best I've ever had anywhere. Bread pudding. What's the other things they got you can get in New Orleans? Beignets. They got beignets. They got everything.
Toffee cake.
Oh, my God. That was incredible. I didn't get a bite. You wouldn't let me have any. But I want to thank Glenn Manley. He picked up the tab for about 5 people.
You know, that's why he was late, Glenn. He kept texting me, hey, is Glenn there? Is Glenn there?
Right. Yeah, he did.
That was why.
Do you notice he got any money?
Is he feeling generous today?
What kind of mood's he in? It'll be Veterans Day this week. It is that Cajun place. Go check it on Thomas Drive. You'll love it. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
You had a 4.0 to get into Southern Miss.
Yeah.
To Harvard.
I will tell you this right now.
His academic advisor.
I am proud to tell you that I had well, I'm not proud to tell you. I am proud that I got a degree. I have never made a 4.0 in my lifetime, ever.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Life can take us so many places. And at Panama City Toyota, we're here to make sure every drive is worth every minute.
Maybe you want a fun, fuel-efficient car for everyday driving. Or you need a dependable vehicle that really gets the job done. Sometimes it's all about answering the call of the wild. And when you're ready to shop, reserve your vehicle online and choose your options. Or we'll help you in person, even if you started the process at home.
Whatever works for you, always works for us.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
People ask all the time, who the heck is low-cost airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rate you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-708-3092. 800-708-3092. 800-708-3092. That's 800-708-3092.
College football isn't life and death. It's much more important than that. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide, roll. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. They're there for you anytime, day or night. Locals taking care of locals throughout Northwest Florida. If you have any issues whatsoever, it's Stevenson Air Conditioning. Get it serviced now, right before winter, right before summer. It's going to save you money on your power bill. Don't go with anybody but the best. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. That's got a nasty text here. It's not, it's local, not locals. Local 115. Thank you, Julie. Local drinks, local sports, local food. I got it. Local 115. You wait. Play that It's a Man's World real quick. And
not on your life, but
also want to thank everybody that's texting in and is going to give money to Bay High School. We need to get money to Bay High School, Arnold High School, and Mosley for travel expenses. State championship series they're going on. Please go by there. Give what you can. And we got our superintendent, school board member, almost the superintendent, same thing. Steve Moss is with us. Coop's with us. Big day. Before we get into that, I got to congratulate you, Steve. Great job. Teachers now are going to make, starting out, $50,000. I remember when we started, I think we made $10,000 in Lake Wales back in 1980. $50,000. Talk a little bit about that before we get going.
We've come a long way. Yesterday, we had a school board meeting, and we voted to ratify the teacher's contract. And so for the first time in our county's history, starting teachers will make $50,000.
Wow.
And then our other teachers that are already, all of them got a $1,750 raise. We also picked up the remaining cost of their health insurance. So we're trying to incentivize more folks to get into the teaching profession while also rewarding the teachers that are already currently in the profession. So it was a dual mandate of rewarding the teachers that have put in the time and effort that are here now teaching, but also to try to recruit others into the profession. And again, when you start at $50,000 salary, I know that's, it's not, you're not going to buy a Ferrari or live on the water. I get it, but I think that's a living wage, and that doesn't include their benefits package and insurance and those type of things.
And not people, you get state retirement, health insurance, and things like that. The retirement's a big deal.
Well, that pay raise also helps assistant coaches because
supplements
are tied to the beginning teacher thing.
Yes, it is. You're right.
So,
and you guys really, that's a union when it comes to supplements and stuff, right? That's really not you guys.
Yeah, so we negotiate through collective bargaining every year with our teachers union, and then if we settle, then right now, the next week, all the teachers will ratify it or vote on it, so to speak.
All right, that's outstanding, $50,000.
Good news.
We do live in a very expensive place. It's expensive everywhere, so this is a good thing. Coop Moss, I'm going to tell you what, watched you senior when you're a little bitty kid, watch you grow up. Not only are you a great player, but you're a better person. That's more important than anything. I mean, this guy, I've never heard him say a bad word, never seen him act like a punk in any way. He's always been first class. And that, I think, is the way you were raised by your mom and dad. Wonderful people. Congratulations to both of you for raising a wonderful kid. And you raised a wonderful dollar too. I will say that.
Coach.
But very impressed what you've done in your career. Special day today. I remember back when I signed. Back when we did it, it was like winning a lottery because that was the big deal. It wasn't NIL money. It wasn't going to play pro like you're going to have to make a decision. It was like you hit a home run, and it was the biggest thing in my life. I never would have got to go anywhere without that scholarship. It's still a huge deal.
$15 a month.
Oh, yeah. We used to get a whole $15. Unbelievable. But it's still a huge deal because now it's even bigger for a high school kid to get a scholarship because they're not competing with high school kids anymore. They're competing with the players. If you play at Florida, their coaching staff's watching every other team in the country. You competed against college players, people that are older than you. And the parents get upset because kids aren't getting scholarships anymore. It's tougher now than it's ever been, and I hate that. I wish they would have where they could sign X amount of high school and have an X number of transfers you can only take. I don't know if that would ever happen, but I think it would help. What's it mean to you to be where you're at today, all that work you put in all these years, and now it's paying off?
Yeah, man, it's a blessing. I'm so blessed to be in this position that I am. I was obviously coached to, really good parents, just to have a good character on the field, on and off the field. So just super blessed to have this opportunity and super excited for the next step.
You're a great role model. I watch you when you don't even think I'm watching, I watch you. I see you out in public. I see you at baseball games. I see you at football games. I saw you down there. The way you treat other students, you don't have your head up in the cloud like you're something special. You treat everybody with class. I love that about you. Steve, great job raising this young man. I know you got to be proud. What's it like for you to see your kid meet his goals that he had in his life, to go play in the SEC, to go play for the Florida Gators, And just to be able to get in the school academically says a lot right there also.
So today being National Signing Day, there's going to be high school kids across the country where this is their dream. They've worked years and years, and today's the day, National Signing Day. In my pocket, I have tissues. Because, Coach, I think I'm going to use them.
I get it. I get it.
I tell myself I'm going to be able to hold it together, but I've seen the journey Cooper has been on. He committed to the University of Florida back when he was 14. That won't happen anymore because the NCAA has changed the rules. So for these last 4 years, he's been committed as a Gator commit, and that does carry some pressure with it. Every time you're up to bat or every time you're a pitcher, they know you're a Florida commit, and they're going to bring their best, whether it's hitting or pitching against you. And so these 4 years, sometimes it seems like it's been forever. Sometimes it seems like it's flown by. But now here we are 4 years after he's committed, where today he'll actually sign. But if you look at the statistics, this is unique. Only 2% of high school baseball players sign.
In the country.
Right, signed Division I.
Yeah.
2% of all high school baseball players are signed Division I.
Millions play.
Yes.
And they all start out with the same dreams. And it's just incredible what you've done. And Steve, help me out. There's also, they're going to have a record today, I believe, in signing scholarships at Arnold at 11 o'clock. Blair is also another unbelievable great kid. Know his mom and dad. Great teacher, great coach himself, and his son signing with Florida also, which is unbelievable. 2 kids from the same school signing with Florida. That's the percentage of that happening is almost impossible.
I can't imagine what the statistics would be, but there's 9 players that'll be signing today.
Do you know who they are?
Yes, I know there's 2 baseball players that are going to Florida. There's 2 that are going to be going to Gulf Coast. They're going to stay here local. Yeah. So we've got 2 Commodores. So 4 baseball players, 3 softball players, a volleyball player, and a rower. A female is going to for a rowing scholarship.
All right.
So 9 total. So that's the biggest class Arnold's ever had.
Wow.
So it's exciting that they put in the hard work. Today's the day they sign, and all that hard work get to pay the dividends of someone going to pay for you to go to college.
Right.
Unbelievable.
To talk about the character part, little kids are watching you all the time. So, you have to. People don't realize that they're watching you, and whatever you do, that's the way they think they're supposed to act. And so we had to. Bay High has a lot of kids that run out. They're in the midget leagues and the Pee Wee leagues, runs out with them. So I had to remind a couple of them one time, they're watching you. So you need to make sure, But anyway, you've done a great job with that. I know the kids, So
it's big. And that's why I tell Cooper that the game of baseball has, at least I've tried as a dad to use the game of baseball to teach him life lessons. Because I said eventually your baseball career will be over. I don't know if it's next year or hopefully it's in the next 15 years. Who knows? Right. But those life lessons will hopefully make you a good father and a good husband one day. Because once baseball's gone, these life lessons, hopefully. And baseball has given him and I the opportunity. We've traveled the country, played in tournaments all over the place, met some really good folks. If it wasn't for baseball, as a son and dad, we wouldn't have had that opportunity to spend this much time together. So I don't know how baseball coach ends, but at the very least, it's given us an opportunity to spend time together as a father and son for countless hours.
You had to have played, right?
I did, but honestly, I was nowhere near the level he was.
But you had to be pretty good.
I played football, guard and tackle. I guarded the water bottle. Anyone that tried to take it, I tackled them.
What about baseball?
I played a little baseball, but nowhere near the level.
What position did you play?
Left out. I was an outfielder, back up this, back up that.
In football, he played on a small school, and they had 12 players, and he backed up every position.
That's about the truth.
And one time, the quarterback went down, and the coach said, "Moss, come here. I want you to go in there and tell that referee we're playing with 10 men." So, okay.
I wasn't near the athlete as Cooper.
But you know what, though? But you went through the process, and you went through all the training, you went through all the practices and the ups and downs of the game, and so you got to pass that on. The sun's going to come up tomorrow, and all that good stuff. And so you've done a great job with that. And so we owe a lot to your wife too. She's corrected you a lot and make sure he gets her.
It's been a team. I know you can probably speak to that, Cooper. I know there's.
Hold on, we got to take a break. When we get back though, I'm going to give you an opportunity because I know there's a lot of people you want to thank. Your teammates, your coaches, your family. We'll only give you an opportunity to do that. It's a big deal here in Bay County Day. All throughout the country, everybody's signing. This is the early signing period for baseball, correct?
It sure is.
And football's coming up in December, so it's around the corner for football. But this is a big day today in these kids' lives. And you people always can remember you. I always think that. I always believe this. They don't remember this. I remember people that are kind, people that show kindness. That's who they're going to remember. And you've always shown that. You know, you are a superstar, no doubt about that, but you've always shown kindness to people. I think that's what makes you special, and don't ever lose that. Don't ever lose that.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Do they not do a great job?
They do.
They're at number one.
They just
not
don't do
even
windows.
Close.
They don't do windows.
They do everything, man. They'll
clean
do
it.
anything. Stevenson Air Conditioning, if you have any kind of problem anytime, day or night, they're there for you. Local company, expanding throughout Northwest Florida. They do an incredible job. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Also, Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. Dr. Chad Mitchell, the legend. And thank you, Steve. You did a great job by honoring him.
He's a good guy.
High School.
Good guy.
Wonderful man. And you can listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And one of Coop's favorite places, you might see him in there every once in a while, him and the family, El Rodeo, the Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from Navy Base. Great place to have birthday parties. Buy one, get one free. House wine, margarita, draft beer. And when the games are being played on Saturdays and Sundays, $5 pitchers. That Cajun place, one of our favorite places. We had a great time Saturday. I had a wonderful time, especially when you picked up the bill. That was incredible.
Well, when y'all all left, I had no choice.
Yeah, the food's great. Try the chicken sausage gumbo is incredible. The food's unbelievable. You can't get there in the summertime. You can only get in the wintertime for locals. Go check it out. Wear your school colors. If LSU scores a touchdown, you get a free Jell-O shot. We'll be right back. Steve Moss, Coop Moss, Glenn Manley, Wildcat, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, home of the Auburn Tigers.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Denver!
We bring you the biggest games every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night.
Oh, he's got the first down!
Plus, we'll broadcast more college football games than ever before.
He did what?
Live NFL and college football play here.
Unbelievable!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the east-southeast, mostly clouds and 80. A variety of mostly clouds and very light rain tonight, a little colder at 71. Tomorrow, a good chance of sprinkles in the morning followed by some clouds and a high of 72. About the same at 71 Friday, and we'll have sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Are you looking to invest in rare coins and precious metals? Well, look no further. Coin and Bullion Reserves is Bay County's trusted source for rare coins and precious metals. Located in the heart of Panama City, our showroom is stocked with a vast selection of gold and silver bullion, rare coins, and currency. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned collector, we have what you're looking for. Our sales staff has over 50 years of experience to help guide you through your purchase. Come and visit Coin and Bullion Reserves today and build your collection with confidence.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
Kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle! Hey, Martha, Ken, Jenna. James Gualamere and that beautiful grandbaby in Atlanta. I know they're Auburn Tigers also. You know Jenna. She works down at the school board.
Yes.
Good people. Really good people down there. I love them people. Auburn, they got a big ball game this weekend. I want to thank B4 Braves Lynn Haven. Today's special, if you're in Lynn Haven, get over there. 10 wings and a side for $9.99. I love Pat. City Commissioner does an incredible job. I love the way that people treat you when you walk in the door. TV's everywhere. Head out to B4 Braves, have a great lunch today. This weekend, get down there and watch the ball games. If you're Mosley Dolphins before the game, go have a pep rally down there, then head on out to Tommy Oliver. All right, Coop, we'll give you a little opportunity to thank the people who's influenced you in your life. Why baseball, football, soccer? It could have been anything. Where did the love from baseball come? And then talk about the people that helped you along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I've started since the early age of 4. Just loved it ever since. The first game was kind of rough on the T-ball field at Frank Brown, but ever since that incident, I've loved the game ever since.
He cried his eyes out the first game, says, I hate baseball. Why'd you make me do this, Dad? He was 4 years old playing T-ball. I said, listen, I paid $60 for you to play in this league. You're going to finish this season whether you like it or not. And luckily, thank God, he kept with it. That's a true story.
But I just love the want to get better every day. That's kind of a motto me and my dad have always gone by. It's even on my glove, but I just love the grind. I love the process, just the hard work that goes into it, and the results that you see during the game and practice and everything. It's definitely that's just what makes it fun. Playing with your friends, your boys. Playing with your teammates is just something that always just makes it even more fun. You want to go to practice, you want to get better. It's just the love for the game is just endless at that point.
We talked about the time when you were young, but was there any other time in your career where you had a bad day and thought, I don't know?
Multiple. I mean, honestly, I think without those bad days, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
Yeah.
Just kind of coming over those circumstances and those challenges, I think have made me such a better baseball player and the guy I am today.
And not only sports, to be who you are today, there's a lot of people behind you, your family, teachers, coaches. Give some shouts out to some of these people.
Yeah,
who do you remember that stood out in your life?
First, I want to thank the Lord. His blessings have just helped me so much. Obviously, I'm a pretty good baseball player, but my identity is a Christian. I try to use the game of baseball to spread the gospel. So, first of all, I want to thank the Lord. Second of all, I want to thank my family. My dad, my mom, my sister, and my grandma, and the people that aren't necessarily here physically, but looking down on me and my accomplishments and everything that I've gone through. Those people have inspired me to be the person I am today on and off the field. And just my coaches. I mean, there's a long list of coaches that have helped me kind of mold me to the guy I am today. And without their help, I don't know where I'd be. Obviously, my dad didn't play at such a great high level, but, he gives me the tools that he has.
Right.
But kind of reaching out to those coaches that have experience and have the knowledge to just where I am today, like kind of make me the guy that I am today. That knowledge that I got from all those coaches is some of the stuff that I'll remember the rest of my life. And my friends, my teammates, my boys that I play with, Eli Blair, just those guys that you're just so close with on and off the field, just those guys that always want you to be better on and off the field. Those made me a better person and made me a better athlete as well.
And you and Blair both are ranked, the top 100 or something like that in the country?
Yeah, whether it's Perfect Game or Prep Baseball Report, I think right now Cooper's ranked the number 2 right-handed pitcher in the state by PBR, Perfect Game 3. And then his... I don't know what the statistics are, but you have 2 guys playing on the same team, both at Arnold High School.
That's unbelievable.
Both signing Division I scholarships to play at the University of Florida. So the chances of that they've been, Cooper and Eli have been playing on the same different travel ball teams for probably 10 years now. Pretty close to it. It's been a long time. So here they are. They've played almost their entire prep baseball career and even Little League together. And now, lo and behold, they both signed to play at the same Division I school at UF. And they both had opportunities to play other places, but that seemed to be the best fit. And Cooper's a two-way player. He hits and pitches. Eli's more of just a pitcher only. But there's a good chance that they both could be on the same staff and roommates.
Wow, that's
Gainesville.
And the key there, both of them come from great families.
It's
great people.
And there's so many times our goal is honestly is time. Every Sunday after church, we load up our golf cart and we take it over to Frank Brown Park. We've done this, Coach, for years and years. I don't know how many. I told I'm going to be the first guy that's never played pro to have Tommy John surgery because I've thrown thousands and thousands of batting practice to Cooper, and that's how you're better. With anything, the more you do it, the more practice you have, you get better at it. And so I've tried to do everything I could as a dad, and then when it came to the point where I'm like, you know what, I have to find somebody that has better knowledge than me at a higher level. That's when I passed him off to the very best coaches I could to take him and his knowledge and his skills to a higher level than I could as a dad. Now, I can still throw batting practice, but the way you grip a curveball or a changeup or the way you stride off the mound or the way that's something I'll delegate to better folks.
I'm listening to you talk, and it reminds me, and it does, you two remind me of somebody else I knew way back in the day, back in the 80s. Mike Borders was our JV football coach. His son was named Pat Borders. Pat was our quarterback at Lake Wales. Mike did the same thing. He built a batting cage in the backyard. Pat went on, got a scholarship to Mississippi State, did not take it, went and played professional baseball. He's going to play quarterback in the wishbone and also play, he made himself a catcher. He was the MVP of the World Series for the Blue Jays. Yep. He played, I don't know how many years in the professional leagues, and he coached. The guy's a millionaire now. And his dad did the exact same thing you did. I mean, he was with him the entire way. So I'm hoping we one day will come back and say, hey, Coop, remember that? You just like that kid at Lake Wales. You MVP of the World Series.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Which brings me to this. Tell us what's happened lately with the draft, what's going on with if any teams contacted you, either one of you guys, if they visit, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've had multiple home visits this past couple weeks. Yesterday and the day before, this whole week, I'm filling out questionnaires for a lot of the MLB teams that take hours. But it's I know it's all going to be worth it in the end, but it's a lot of time going into just the whole process of the professional level. So it's fun getting those teams, in your house, in your living room, talking to you about what you want to do for the rest of your life. And it's fun just kind of making those relationships with those professional scouts. And it's fun, all the hard work that you put in is kind of it paying off, and you get to have those conversations with scouts and professional managers and stuff like that. So it's fun for sure, just having to experience that.
Give us a couple names whose teams have been there to your house.
Yeah, Milwaukee Brewers. I had a Zoom call with the Cleveland Guardians. I have the Reds next week and the Twins week after that.
What kind of questions do they ask you guys?
Oh my goodness, they're doing their homework and due diligence. Now they all said that we're just doing our legwork. Now we will come see Cooper in the spring. Pitch and hit. So we'll be there in the spring, but they're kind of doing their homework. And you tell them, they've asked about your girlfriend. Do you go to church? What your grades are? Can you cook for yourself? Are you independent? What kind of books you read? I mean,
they want to know everything.
They cover the gamut.
Yeah, and just don't give them your Social Security number.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But they cover that part, and then they obviously ask the questions about baseball. How I grew up playing the game of ball. If my parents played. What trials and errors have I gone through, just little stuff like that, so they can kind of pick me up as a person.
It's been unique. When the Brewers came to the house, he picked up his phone. He said, hey, Cooper, can I video something? And I said, well, this is kind of weird. He goes, you got a baseball? So Cooper said, well, yeah. So Cooper ran in his room and got a baseball, and he wanted to film or record Cooper's different grips. He goes, show me your two seam, show me your four seam, show me your changeup, show me your slider grip. And he actually recorded on his phone all of Cooper's different baseball grips. And he said, perfect, that's what I needed. So it's just some really unique things. But the Milwaukee Brewers were there. Again, the Cleveland Guardians, Cincinnati Reds, I think, are next week. The Twins have shown interest. And then what was the questionnaire were from the Phillies?
Yeah, Phillies, Diamondbacks. It was five or six teams.
Yankees, so a couple others. So it's kind of, honestly, Coach, it's surreal when you're sitting in your living room and there's someone from a major league team asking your son questions about his baseball future and this and that. I was nervous as a cat. I told my wife, I'm like, are we supposed to have drinks? Should you cook banana nut bread? I mean, what do you do when these scouts come to the house? I want to make a good first impression. Clean up everything, vacuum, dust everything, put the dogs out in the backyard. The scouts, the major league scouts are coming to the house. You want to, put forth a good first impression. But we're all kind of new in this, so we're kind of learning. But it's been a heck of a process.
Did any of them ever say like this is a tough road, or are they just asking you questions? Do they say anything to you like that?
Yeah, I mean the questionnaires are. I mean, there's a lot of questions of like, when did you fail most at the sport? Kind of like, how did you rebound from that incident, or have you like even gone through any? So I had some times that I had to put on there, and how it made me a better person from those negative, I guess, opportunities that I had.
Yeah, I mean those major league teams want to know how you as a player deal with failure, because baseball is a game of failure. I mean, you've heard the statistics. If you're successful 3 out of 10 times hitting, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
It's a game of failure, not only the hitting but even the pitching part of it. So it's interesting, some of the questions the scouts are asking. A lot of it has to do with failure. They all know you can throw mid-90s and hit a bunch of home runs. They want to know what happens when you go 0 for 3 and strike out 3 times. What happens if you give up the game-winning home run? How do you deal with that? So it's unique that they know Cooper's talented or they wouldn't have been there in the first place. They want to know, how do you deal with failure and how do you rebound from that? It's pretty interesting.
Well, I want to thank both of you coming in here. 11 o'clock, Arnold High School. They will be having 9 people signed today. This is a huge day in these guys' life. And I want to tell you again, you know, you are a great football. You're a great baseball player. I watched you play. The biggest crowd I've ever seen in my life was the South Walton Arnold baseball game. That was incredible.
I can agree.
Thousands.
Yeah. First time he gets up, I think it was the first time he got to bat, he crushes a ball home run. I was like, wow. For all those, you know, it's amazing. But more important than that, being as great as you are at that sport, you're a better person, and that's the big deal. I mean, and to hear what you said about Christ, and that makes me feel so much better. And you're a good-looking kid, and you know what? I look at that, and I'm like, I get it. Your mother's beautiful.
Absolutely. Right. I take no credit at all. That's the truth.
That's great.
Okay, congratulations. I know y'all busy. I appreciate you guys coming in today, and we're going to try to get some more kids on later. But, man, before the season starts, we got to get you guys back in here. Arnold's got a shot to do something special in baseball.
Rarely do you have 2 Division I pitchers on the same staff, so we think that if we can just score maybe 2 or 3 runs, our pitching and defense is enough where you can win some games. Last year we made it to the Elite 8. Hopefully they'll make that next step to the Final 4. I think that's the goal this senior year for them. So,
and Steve, again, great job.
Right.
Great job raising that kid. And I know your daughter's outstanding too. I've kind of followed her on Facebook, but you guys do a great job. You and your wife did a wonderful job. And thank you for everything you've done at school board. But man, we are proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
We need a Bay County Hall of Fame. You hear me?
that would be cool.
Yeah, we got them everywhere else but here.
Other counties seem to have, right? They're all on board with that. So it's hopefully our goal next is to have a successful and healthy senior season. So it's bless his heart. You know, a lot of parents, players can hear their parents from the stands, right? Oftentimes. Every parent hears me because I'm the PA announcer, right? Yeah. so Cooper's always had a unique perspective because Dad's always on the microphone. You know that ball up and out of here. You know, next up to bat number 18, Cooper Moss. You know, so
it's not always that positive.
No, sometimes I turn the microphone off and go, "Daggone it!"
And I can't believe he was calling FSU baseball games.
I know. I know.
That's a whole different story.
Less than a year after I committed too.
When you make it big time in the pros, I'm sure that story will come up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I was the voice of the Seminoles for a year, and lo and behold, my son commits to the University of Florida. So I'm always going, "Go Noles!" And I'm like, "Oh, what am I saying?"
All right, we'll be right back. You listen to 104.3. Get back, Mark McLeod. Everything you know about Florida football, baseball, anything. We'll ask Mark. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Every love story deserves a perfect beginning. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we believe that your engagement ring should be as unique as your love. Explore our vast selection of certified natural and lab-created diamonds, each hand-picked for brilliance and beauty. Whether you desire the timeless allure of one of our hand-selected engagement rings, or you'd like to custom design the perfect ring, visit us today and let our experts guide you in finding the ring of her dreams, because love deserves the best. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where love sparkles.
Emerald Coast Jiu-Jitsu is the premier jiu-jitsu academy in Bay County. Emerald Coast Jiu-Jitsu is a 6,000 square foot facility with 2 separate mat spaces, a pro shop, and a coffee bar. Jiu-Jitsu programs start at 3 years old through adult. They also provide Muay Thai, wrestling, MMA, yoga, breakdancing, street combatives, and prenatal yoga. Emerald Coast Jiu-Jitsu has been named Best of Bay for the past 2 years, has hundreds of 5-star reviews online, and 50 years combined jiu-jitsu experience. Emerald Coast Jiu-Jitsu, providing you with the best martial arts and lifestyle experience possible.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
It's the Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! Man, it's a Gator Day here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Take that, Wildcat, you Kentucky Wildcat. It's a Gator Day. What a day, man.
I quit.
He didn't have his juice this morning.
I quit.
Yeah.
Not in that way.
Wait to 9, please. Let's bring him on right now. If you love the Florida Gators, you know who it is. You listen to every Wednesday at 8:30 just to hear his beautiful voice. Mark McLeod. Mark, how you doing, sir?
Hey, doing well, Coach. Good morning.
You would be proud. You're not going to believe what we're sending to you down in Gainesville. We just had Cooper Moss in here. Steve Moss is a school board member. Is he the chairman this year? I think he might be the chairman. I can't remember. He's been it if he wasn't before. Right. But I'm going to tell you what, the Gators, he's going to sign with Florida today, and so's Blair, Eli Blair, two from the same high school, are signing baseball scholarships for the Gators. And Coop's telling me all these professional teams that have been in his living room asking all these questions. Got the draft coming up in July. But I'm going to tell you what you're getting from this young man from Florida, academically unbelievable, great player, but a better person. This is
what
a
character
good,
that kid has.
Great Christian
He's actually
kid.
getting two from.
Yeah, Blair's the same way, both of them. So baseball, the future of the Gators are in great hands. Believe me, you would love these kids, Mark. You would absolutely love them.
Well, that's great news. Yeah, I mean, we've heard a lot about them down here, believe it or not. You know, there's a lot of interest in baseball, as you guys know, down in Gainesville, and especially since Kevin O'Sullivan took over the program and has elevated it. So, yeah, that's great. And look, these pitchers, Florida needs pitching. They need some guys that will come in and listen to what he's telling them. We saw some freshmen struggle last year, but, you know, throughout his time in Gainesville, we've seen Kevin O'Sullivan. I've seen him. Guys said, I went out in fall ball practice and watched him pitch, and I went, oh, okay, well, that's going to take a little while. Next thing you know, they've changed a little bit of the mechanics here or there or whatever, adjusted this, and these guys are pitching in SEC ball the following year, and you just are amazed by it. So I am so looking forward to having some Panama City flavor on this baseball team.
Oh, you're going to love it. And, hey, they're both big kids. Blair's like 6'6", a lefty. Coop's huge, too. I mean, you got some big, good-looking kids coming down. We're excited about Florida baseball.
And Cooper can hit. So
Yeah, the playoffs. Mark, you wouldn't believe the biggest crowd I ever saw was South Walton playing Arnold in the playoffs in baseball. The place is jam-packed. They had to move it to the city park. What's it called? Publix Park.
Publix Park, yeah, sports
And he knocked it out of the ballpark in the first inning, first time up, crushed the ball. These are great players. All right, let's get away from that, and let's get into something
great.
else.
If it ever rains, he's 6'6". I'll stand next to him, and he's going to
That's
right.
All right, I want to ask you this. It was weird what happened. I said, this is not good. We just got through talking about it off the air in here. You give Billy another year, and then what happened with the basketball, it was like, wow. And then Saturday morning, we get embarrassed. Not a good look for the athletic director at Florida, but your basketball coach is still coaching, so it couldn't be that bad. Because when we first heard, we're like, that's it. There are going to be 3 new coaches at Florida. There's going to be a new AD, a new basketball coach, a new football. Are we completely wrong on this? And give us the latest, what's going on with the basketball situation.
Well, with the basketball situation, the investigation is ongoing. And those Title IX investigations, guys, as you guys know as coaches, they take a while. So nothing is going to be, in my opinion, nothing's going to be resolved right away. I think the key here is this. what did Scott Strickland know? If it's proven true, okay, look, we still need to see evidence. They need to conclude the investigation, wrap it up. It's going to be a little while, I guess. But if it's proven true, what did Scott Strickland know? When did he know it? He certainly, you would have done his own investigation, internal investigation. And, that coupled on the heels of the Neubauer situation with women's basketball a few years ago, good gracious. I mean, that's a bad look for Strickland, and probably one where, again, you're going to have a lot of Gator fans loading up saying, look, we need to move on from this guy as athletic director and get somebody else in. But, a lot's to be determined there. Scott Strickland, obviously, there were 3 keys for him releasing it at that time, and we all know that. One was recruiting. You were 30 days out from the early signing period, so they wanted to send an assurance to recruits, and they've got several high-profile recruits. I mean, very high-profile recruits coming to the Florida campus in the next 2 weeks. They wanted to send that message and get that message out. They wanted to get out, actually, the next few weeks, because some of them may not make it because of high school playoffs. But so let me correct myself there. But you also wanted to get the word out to the transfer portal guys, because that's what I've been told. I was told that, I guess, a couple weeks ago now, that, look, Mark, Florida is going to spend a ton of money on transfer portal kids, because they've got a lot of money invested in the freshmen and redshirt freshmen and sophomores, but they have hardly anything invested in guys that are juniors and seniors and graduates. So that's where they're going to put, and they're adding a lot more money to the pot, NIL money to the pot. So that's what they're planning on doing. They're planning on that and really trying to knock it out of the park like Ole Miss did in terms of the transfer portal. And then the third thing they really wanted to do with all that is, again, they knew the toughest part of the schedule was coming up, that it was going to look ugly. So he wanted to get that out there that, look, guys, let's try and temper some of the hatred on social media. He's not going anywhere right now. They wanted to kind of get ahead of that.
Mark, what about the president of University of Florida? When are they going to make who's going to be the president? Is this guy that's there now they're going to make full-time? What are you hearing about that? Because they can't do anything and make any decision until you know who the president of the university is. Yeah,
I mean, Kent Fox is the president right now. It's interim. He's been the president here. He stepped down, and now he came back in to help out. I do not have a timetable on that. I know they're looking at candidates right now. In fact, I've heard they have several that they already brought to the table that they're looking at. So, will an announcement be made end of November or early December? That's possible. But guys, I went back and I looked at this. When Charlie Pell was hired, Steve Spurrier was hired, Ron Zook was fired, all that. You had changes in president at the University of Florida, or changes with the athletic director. So it's just been insane how this kind of, at times, it ties together. But you're right, Coach. I mean, the president, the board of directors, all of that, they all have to get on the same page. And look, we already know there's a divide in the Gator Nation, whether they want Scott Strickland making the decision or not, and he's made the decision. So we'll see what happens there. But, ugly loss to Texas. You've got LSU coming in. They're a wounded team after losing their last 2 games. So it's an opportunity for Florida, you would think, to get something going. And Florida LSU is always an insane, wacky, weird game. It's usually involved with hurricanes, shoes flying across the field. I mean, there's always some weirdness, some real weirdness with Florida LSU. Well, before we get to LSU, I want to go back to the Texas ball game. What did you think? I mean, we knew the offense, worried about that with all the injuries and everything like that, but the parts, I did watch the game, and by the way, ABC is making a killing off the SEC. They broke all the records again this week. The 11 o'clock time frame, 2:30, 6:30. The Florida-Texas game was the best one. They had about 4 million people watching it. Then at 2:30, Georgia, Ole Miss, they had, I think it peaked at 8 million. Alabama, LSU that night peaked over at 9.7 million. So they're making great money. They're really happy with what they've done with the SEC, ABC. They're making their people rich there. But what did you think about the effort of the players, first of all? Not the outcome, but the effort of the kids. I think the effort of the kids has been fantastic. It really, given everything that's going on at Florida right now with the football program, I can't say enough about it. And I know that factors into Scott Strickland's decision. He said as much. Look, they don't want to lose DJ Lagway, although would they really lose him if they were to hire a Lane Kiffin? Lane could go in there and say, oh, there's a guy named Jackson Dart who's doing pretty good. If you look at the NCAA stats, he's right there in the top 5 in this category. He's number 2 in this category. He's number, I think that's overrated by fans. Well, you got to keep Napier and lose DJ Lagway, would you? You don't know that, but I think the biggest problem at Florida right now, guys, is quarterback play. It is quarterback play. Aiden Warner, God bless him, but you guys are coaches. The game is moving way too fast for that kid.
Right.
When you're throwing balls with a receiver that has a step on the defender, and we saw this several times in the last 2 games with Warner. But guys, you can't throw that ball in the dirt. You can't throw it 2 yards ahead of him or 2 yards behind him or over his head. The accuracy is terrible right now, and Florida's able to run the ball. That's what's amazing to me. Florida ran for nearly 200 on Texas, guys. And when I say that, it's not like the Texas game. Look, Isaiah Bond had a 44-yard run. Jaden Blue had a 45-yard run. Florida's longest run in the Texas game was 16 yards, and they still ran for 202 touchdowns. So, yeah, that's a big part of what's going on at Florida right now. It's quarterback play. The defense is playing their butts off. They're playing hard, but they made a lot of mistakes, though, against Texas. Texas was ready for them, changed some things up that Florida hadn't seen, and they had a lot of success with it, with Quinn Ewers passing the ball, and then, of course, the run game.
All right, we get back to Marble Cloud. We're going to talk about the LSU football game. LSU at Florida, huge football game. Saturdays down south, they have they've picked for Florida bowl game. We'll talk about that when we get back with Mark. But right now, let's talk about some of our fine people. South Oak Tile and Closing, J. Michael's Restaurant, Stevenson Air Condition, El Rodeo Tequila Bar Grill, Dr. Chad Mitchell, That Cajun Place, Newbies, Dr. Ward, Max Fit Sports Nutrition, Paparazzi. You love pizza, it's Paparazzi. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick. When you're not playing well and you still win, that tells you something about them. Mahomes was sacked 4 times against Denver. They had 57 yards rushing, still found a way to win. Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions. The Lions eventually squeak out a 3-point win.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. This afternoon and evening, there will be a moderate breeze out of the east-southeast, mostly clouds and 80. A variety of mostly clouds and very light rain tonight, a little colder at 71. Tomorrow, a good chance of sprinkles in the morning, followed by some clouds and a high of 72. About the same at 71 Friday, and we'll have sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
That Cajun Place is your LSU and Saints football headquarters. Saints and LSU fans, wear your team colors and score a free Jell-O shot when your team scores a touchdown. Only at That Cajun Place. Get $5 pitchers on select draft beers during all live football games. Catch all the games at once with the NFL package on 27 large TVs at That Cajun Place. And the best wings on the beach. The locals' favorite, That Cajun Place.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
Time to let the big dogs eat.
How about that answer by Georgia? To the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Big day today. Arnold High School, 11 o'clock. Not just Arnold, all throughout the country. people signing scholarships. Those kids, so proud of all of them. And the Gators got 2 great ones coming from them from one high school, which is incredible. We got Mark McLeod on the phone with us. Mark, I want to talk about the LSU-Florida game. I watched LSU play the second half I watched them play LSU. They looked like a totally different football team. They looked an outstanding football team. I watched them the first half against Texas A&M. They looked great. The second half, not so much so. Then against Alabama, my entire life, I've never seen an LSU team look so poorly prepared, play so poorly, at home, at night, in a game against the University of Alabama, which is a huge rivalry for both schools. Bama embarrassed them. And I think Kelly throwing players under the bus like he kind of does, I think that's affected the locker room somewhat. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong on that. But I feel great about Florida's chances, but then you got to look at the matchup. It's not about scores, it's about matchup. Alabama had a quarterback that's big, fast, and powerful. Florida does not have that part of their offense, which could be a problem. But Florida can run the football. I do feel like Florida's got a really good opportunity to win this ball game. Saturdays Down South has Florida making a bowl game, going to the Birmingham Bowl. What's your take? What do you think is going to happen Saturday with the LSU game? I kind of feel good about it, but it's a totally different matchup. What do you think?
Well, is it true that you go to that Cajun place for Florida LSU that they make you leave your shoes outside?
Yes. You don't get a free Jell-O shot if you throw the shoe.
Yeah, I tell you, a bunch of us ate there last summer when we took our daughter over for
it's a great place.
And I'll tell you what, it was great food, so I tip of the hat to those guys. You know, here's the thing. Florida guys, they need a running quarterback. I went back and I looked at, as I'm getting ready to post a piece on Florida LSU, running quarterbacks have given LSU fits this season. Not all of them, but you go back to the South Carolina game, Sellers ran for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns, 8.8 yards per carry. Marcel Reed barely played for Texas A&M, which I think was a mistake in that game. He runs for 62 yards, 3 touchdowns, and averaged 6.9 yards per carry. Of course, Milroe last week, a buck 85, 4 touchdowns, averaged 15.4 yards per carry. So Aiden Warner can't run the football. And I doubt with a hamstring, if DJ Lagway were to play, they're certainly not going to call on him to run a whole lot. So, that's a big problem for Florida in this ball game because you can run the ball in LSU. You can effectively run it. Mark, what would be wrong? And I know Billy's probably thought of this. I mean, I've thought about watching the game. What's wrong with the Wildcat? They're going to know it's coming, but they knew Milroe was going to run the football, and they couldn't stop it. Why don't you put a Wildcat, put a running back at quarterback position and run that? You could do that.
Yeah,
I mean, you're right. I mean, look. The problem is you're the guy they use during the practice sessions in spring and the August drills is Eugene Wilson, Trey Wilson, who's out. He's done.
Yeah.
Another guy that they've used a little bit at times during practice was Eli Badger. He's out. That's been a problem for Florida. Montrell Johnson even ran it a little bit. I remember he ran it for a snap or two last year. He's out. So that's the problem with Florida right now. They're so beat up. But to your point, Coach, you're right. I mean, I don't know why in the world you wouldn't want to do that with Jaden Hall. I mean, that kid's incredible. He really is. But no, I think you're right. That could be something that potentially could work and inspire the team a bit.
And I do believe after watching the game, if you can put pressure on LSU's quarterback, he doesn't handle it very well. He makes some bad decisions. When he's hot, when he has time to throw the football, he's deadly. I saw him against LSU Ole Miss game. I saw him in a couple other games. When he has time, he can throw that ball like as good as anybody in the country. But if you put pressure, you get in his head, then he makes poor decisions. Can Florida's defense do that? Can they put pressure on him? Can the secondary cover those big, good-looking receivers LSU has?
I don't know that it can, Coach. Florida just has really struggled to get pressure on teams this season. And do you trust your secondary if you're gonna start blitzing guys? Remember, Florida's down. Both their corners are out. Their starting corners are out. You can go back 2 games to when Florida played Kentucky. But okay, go back to the Kentucky game, and now 3 games, I guess, when you're looking at LSU. Florida's down 7 starters. That's a 30-year starting unit. If you do the math. And I went to Mosley. I can do math. So it's a very interesting situation for Florida right now because you've got them out. You've got one of your safeties is banged up, although he played a bit, and then you have Jakeem Jackson, also a corner, who is also banged up. So it's a tough situation for Florida right now. But I don't know if they can. It's interesting, guys. I haven't dug in LSU enough. I need to talk to somebody. I'm going to make a call today to somebody out there who covers them and get some insight. But this is a team, you look at the first half of the season, their pass protection was
unbelievable. Yeah.
It really was. And now the last few games, they've struggled. Now, granted, Ole Miss, great defense. Alabama, good defense, good defensive play on Saturday. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
They haven't been good all year, but Texas A&M, good. And you had a lot of pressure from Texas A&M, but you had a lot of pressure, a lot more pressure from Alabama. So something's going on with that offensive line. And look, we know that LSU just isn't, which is uncharacteristic of them. They're just not a very good running football team right now.
Right. They got there's something not right. I know they got a lot of injuries also. One of the best linemen didn't play against Alabama. I think they had like 12 injury on the injury list, 12 players. But everybody's got hurt players now. There's something else not clicking there. I do think Florida's got a great shot, but as I listen to you, I don't know if the matchup is what we need.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Let me add something. You just hit a point. Everybody's banged up right now. More stupidity from the NCAA guys. We go to the college football playoff era, and you had an opportunity to expand the rosters and do all this stuff this season or even last season and get coaches ready for this stuff and get players. But right now, look, you're putting coaches and players in pretty precarious situations with all of the injuries.
Right.
And, now we're also going to have more games this year for a lot of teams. Imagine that. I mean, just the stupidity the NCAA gets.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I didn't know it was NCAA. I thought it was the SEC selected to have 80, to keep it at 85, because we had heard that they were going to let them go to 105. So was that the NCAA or was that the SEC?
Well, my point is, it was the SEC, but my point is the NCAA should have done this a year ago.
Right.
In my opinion, and said, hey, guys, let's go to 105. I just think that would have been a much better situation, and I didn't even think it'd go 105. But guys, I really thought it'd go 92, 93. I thought they had about 8 more ships, but to get the grief, they're crazy. They've gone to 105.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, Mark, Florida needs to run the football, shorten the game, keep LSU's offense off the field, and find a way to win. They got to win the kicking game, which I think they can. The attitude, it seems like the locker room at Florida, I think, is a lot better than LSU's right now. I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. But you see LSU playing that. I didn't think they played that hard when they got down. And I think that when they got down to Bama, it's like I didn't see the effort that you usually see from them. So I think if Florida can start quick, keep LSU's offense off the field, they got a good shot to win this ball game. I just, like you, the matchup's what I am worried about.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right, Coach. You hit on it with Kelly's statements, and this isn't the first time he's done it. He's done it 3 times this season already, where he's come directly at the players. And I think privately those players are going, come on, man, we're busting our butts. We're doing it.
I
Coach
guarantee
made
you.
a stupid call here. Coach, this assistant coach made a stupid call here. What are we supposed to do to overcome it? And I think you are seeing a rift in the locker room.
Mark, we have run out of time. Thank you so much for coming. What's the best way everybody can listen to you or follow you?
Blitzsportsradio.com, on Twitter, on X, I'm sorry, at McLeod Live, MCLEOD Live.
All right, Mark. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Keep sending those Panama City guys our way.
Okay. Mark McLeod. We'll get some football players up there next.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Glenn, thank you for coming in. You did a great job, like always. Wildcat, wonderful job. We hope you guys have a wonderful day. Brian Mulvey, 11 to 1. David and Underdog this afternoon. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Detroit, finally. I don't think Detroit wins this game 2 years ago. I don't think Detroit wins that game last year on the road against the Houston-level team playing like that. The ultimate sign that Detroit has arrived. You can stink up the joint and beat C.J. Stroud and the Texans in Houston Sunday night.